Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys fans sound off after another postseason flop. After Sunday's embarrassing playoff loss in Arlington, Cowboys fans and even former players are still heated. It seems everyone has an opinion about what should happen next with the team. I turned that S*** off, one fan told NBC5 at the Star on Tuesday. Jerry, you owe everybody that flew in from Virginia, Washington, everybody that flew in for that bull S** performance their money back. It isn't just fans frustrated. Former Cowboys wide receiver and NFL Hall of Famer Michael Irvin had a drop-the-mic moment on social media, calling for the Dallas Cowboys to clean house. Put your D** championship on the table. That's all we ask, and you couldn't do it. All their A** need to go, Irvin said before walking off. After Sunday's 48-32 loss to the Packers in the first round of the playoff, quarterback Dak Prescott owned up to his mistakes. "I sucked tonight," said Prescott. "We clearly picked a wrong day to have a bad day," said head coach Mike McCarthy. "Where the team goes from here is anyone's guess." Dave Moore, Cowboys inside for the Dallas Morning News, says the magnitude of Sunday's loss presents the Jones family with decisions they didn't expect to face this soon. Moore says skepticism is only going to grow among the fanbase. "In my mind, the anger and the frustration is a little bit higher each time this happens with the Cowboys because they go, 'Why did I let myself believe this year would be different again?' and they almost feel like they've been fooled," said Moore. "Take a bow, Jerry," the Dallas Cowboys flamed out again. Jerry Jones didn't even bother with one of his traditional word salads after the Dallas Cowboys' most recent postseason collapse. Gone were his customary convoluted responses to reporters' questions, the kind that leave sportswriters trying to decipher whether the Cowboys owner has plans to fire the team's head coach or order a large pepperoni. This time, after Sunday's 48-32 loss to the Green Bay Packers in a home playoff game, Jones's relentless optimism gave way to a rare display of despair. "This one's burned into our soul out here tonight," he said. "I say this to our fans, how much you deserve us to not have this ending. This seems like the most painful loss because we all had such great expectation and we had hope for this team. If you're a Cowboys fan of a certain age, this is your normal, a meager 5 playoff victories, all in the wild card round, in 28 seasons since winning Super Bowl 30 on January 28, 1996. All that past glory, 5 Super Bowl trophies, 20 consecutive winning seasons, the Ring of Honor, are grainy images and tattered ticket stubs from a distant past. In this way, the Dallas Cowboys of 2024 are the most remarkable sports franchise in North America. The team can fall on its face in the playoffs and still remain the world's most valuable sports franchise, $9 billion, according to the latest Forbes estimate. The Cowboys are number 1 in profitability, the only statistic that matters more than wins and losses these days, and in a sport that dominates television ratings like no other programming ever has. Cowboys stars need only first names, Roger and Drew in the 70s and 80s, Troy and Emmett in the 90s, Dak and Micah today. Jones has transformed his initial $140 million investment, when he bought the team in 1989, into a sprawling empire of real estate and silver helmets. Still, what he craves most as he approaches his 82nd birthday, he will never have. He's a marketing and branding genius, but what he really wants is to be considered a football man, admired for his ability to construct rosters, identify talented players, and hire coaches. Instead, the Cowboys have flopped so spectacularly in the playoffs so often that their fans have come to expect it. Even so, this weekend's debacle felt more disappointing than past postseason flameouts, because the Dallas defeat was such a complete beatdown that left Jones confronting so many critical decisions. He probably will fire head coach Mike McCarthy, despite 3 straight playoff appearances and 2 division championships in 4 seasons on the job. McCarthy was hired because his predecessor, Jason Garrett, won 2 playoff games in 9+ seasons. McCarthy has one postseason victory with the Cowboys. "We picked the wrong day to have a bad day," McCarthy said after the loss. "I don't think anybody saw this coming. We're hurting, we're disappointed, every man. Only the Kansas City Chiefs have won more regular season games, 37, than the Cowboys, 36, over the last 3 seasons, but the Chiefs have won a Super Bowl in that span and are one victory from a third straight trip to the AFC Championship game. If Cowboys move on from Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn is still a candidate to take over. As the dark cloud of uncertainty hovers over Dallas, many fans and spokespeople have speculated what big-name coach could be waiting in the wings to take over as head coach in Dallas, a job that currently hangs in the balance. While fans spent much of Sunday night speculating about high-profile names to take over for Mike McCarthy, if the Dallas Cowboys replace Mike McCarthy, could they look to someone already in the building? Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn could be in the running for one reason. Stephen Jones. Executive Vice President Stephen Jones has a strong infatuation with Quinn, and has been vocal several times about how much of a good job he believes the Cowboys' defensive coordinator has done for them since joining the coaching ranks in 2021. Quinn has now been requested for multiple interviews with other NFL teams, meaning if any changes were to happen at the top with Mike McCarthy, then the decision needs to be made quickly. The upsell of Quinn is going to be tough for the front office to pitch to the fans after witnessing the huge defensive blunder the Cowboys made in the wild card game against Green Bay. A game where running back Aaron Jones ran for an average of 5.6 yards and scored 3 touchdowns. All of this happening while Quinn seemingly refused to move his defensive alignment out of dime packages, which allowed Green Bay to have a field day in the running game. On the 54 offensive plays run by Green Bay, Dan Quinn had 6 defensive backs or more on the field for 48 of them. And this isn't his first defensive collapse in postseason games the nation has witnessed. Some people look to Jerry Jones for answers on the subject, but he remains silent and refused to make any comment on coaching changes in the near future. "I don't want to get into addressing any aspects of any part from coaching to the players to what's around the corner," Jerry told media after the game. After going down 27-0 against the Packers on the weekend, at home, McCarthy is feeling the heat and his career is clearly on the line. Not only are the Cowboys the first 2 seed to lose to the 7th seed in the playoffs, they now have 13 consecutive playoff appearances without making it to a conference championship. That's the most in the NFL. The issue now facing McCarthy is the amount of admiration Quinn has from a top Cowboys executive, and how his 1-3 playoff record now stands while serving as head coach for Dallas. Could his departure be followed with an elevation from within? And you fan, what do you think of the Dan Quinn situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.